Do you want to become more comfortable using Google Sheets? I've got 2 skills that will go a long way in helping you become more comfortable in your use of Google Sheets. Let's jump in. So here I've got a sheet with fake data, students, and grades. Many teachers are going to see a grade book like this, and if you want to create this, you can very easily in Google Sheets. Students' names here, grades over here. Now, what you're going to want to do is, because chances are you've got more than 11 students, when you scroll, notice how the name of the activity that I'm taking grades for disappears off your screen. That's a problem, and chances are you're going to have far more than these, 7 grades in your grade book. So when you scroll and add in more grades, now you can no longer see the student name that it's attached to. That's a huge problem, but it's one that can easily be solved by freezing your rows and your columns. And it's super easy to be able to do that. Come up to View, Freeze being the top option, and then you have these options right here. Now you can only do one at a time, but I know that I want row 1 to always show regardless of how many students I have. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it to freeze 1 row. I now notice a thicker gray line here, and as I scroll down, adding in all of my students, I'll always have this header row. Perfect. It's exactly what I need. Now to solve the problem of when I move to the right and add in more grades, I want to be able to see which kids I'm attaching these grades to. So I'm going to come back to View, Freeze, and I just have first name, last name, so I'm going to say I want to freeze 2 columns. Again, notice the thicker gray line that appears because now as I scroll to the right, I can see endless amounts of grades that I put in. Perfect. Now, the second problem that I'm going to overcome is the alphabetizing. The students' names are not in alphabetical order, and I purposely have their first name separate from their last name so that I can make sure that I put them in alphabetical order. So what I'm going to do, again, super easy, is in column B, I want to organize these alphabetically by last name. Find the shark tooth, I click on it, and then I do my sorting. A little more than halfway down, and I want to put my students in order A to Z. Notice you also have Z to A. So when I do A to Z, it's going to take all of the data for each student and keep it together. And now I have my students alphabetical by their last name. Now you can do sorting in any column. Let's say I wanted to see who had the grades in this column. I can sort and notice that it put it backwards from the smallest number to the largest number. If you don't like that, you can always switch it and use the other way, and now I have them top to bottom. Regardless of what you have frozen, you can sort any column that you like this way. And notice, because I have frozen this row, the header stays the same. I hope this is a tech tip that you can do, put in your back pocket, and make sure that you know how to freeze as well as sort.